Jayavardhan. Jayavardhan, next.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, this is the first ever motion of no confidence in the Council of Ministers being brought about in the 16th Lok Sabha. I take this opportunity to express several issues with regards to the state of Tamil Nadu, whereby in certain cases intervention was required by the central government where it had not intervened to solve the problems of our state, and in some cases where it was not necessary for the centre to intervene or exercise its unwarranted excess rights on the state government. My first part of the speech is on the issue of central government use of its excess powers over the state of Tamil Nadu. I used to state about the national eligibility come entrance test. The introduction of NEET is a direct infringement on the rights of the states and has caused grave injustice to the students of Tamil Nadu who are already covered by a fair, transparent admission policy laid down by the government of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu admission system protects the interests of the students, particularly from the weaker section and rural areas, as such students cannot compete with the urban elite students in common entrance examination. A large number of social and economically backward meritorious students have benefited by the government of Tamil Nadu's decision to abolish common entrance examination. For admission to postgraduate courses, the government of Tamil Nadu gives preference to those who have served in rural areas with special weightage for those working in hilly and tribal areas. The introduction of NEET has nullified such policy initiatives intended to further the socio-economic objectives of the state. Is this not a direct infringement on the rights of the state by the central government? Sir, with regards to the draft Dam Safety Bill 2018, the proposed bill contains clauses which violate the rights of Tamil Nadu, especially with respect to the dams constructed by the government of Tamil Nadu in the neighbouring states, which will lead to various problems.
Just a minute. Now 7 o'clock. If the House agrees, one more hour we can extend up to 8 o'clock.
Announcement.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदया, माननीय उपाध्यक्ष जी, अविश्वास प्रस्ताव पर चर्चा देर शाम तक चलने की संभावना है, इसलिए माननीय सदस्यों की सुविधा हेतु संसदीय कार्य मंत्रालय द्वारा रात्रि भोजन की व्यवस्था की जा रही है। माननीय सांसदगण 8 बजे के बाद कमरा संख्या 70 दैट इज 70 प्रथम तल संसद भवन में भोजन कर सकते हैं। मीडिया के सभी होगा। मीडिया के बंधुओं के लिए कमरा संख्या 73 दैट इज 73 तथा संसद के अधिकारियों और कर्मचारियों के लिए कमरा संख्या 74 में भोजन की व्यवस्था की गई है। सब कृपया भोजन ग्रहण करें।
Doctor, continue.
Sir, with regards to the draft Dam Safety Bill 2018, the proposed bill contains clauses which violate the rights of Tamil Nadu, especially with respect to the dams constructed by the government of Tamil Nadu in the neighbouring states, which will lead to various problems in their maintenance and operation. I urge the central government to take up the legislation of dam safety only after consulting the states. Until then, keep in abeyance the process of legislation on dam safety. Sir, with regards to the proposed move by the central government which will affect the fiscal health of the state, I would like to mention here about the central government's decision to dismantle the University Grants Commission, which has both regulatory and fund sanctioning function, with the Higher Education Commission of India, which will have only the regulatory function. So it has a direct consequence on the fiscal health of the state. At present, the UGC gives 100% grants for proposals, but it has been our experience that when the schemes of the UGC are subsumed under the scheme of Higher Education Department of Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India, funds for the schemes are shared between the centre and the state government in the ratio of 60% and 40% respectively. For example, the schemes of UGC, like University with the Potential of Excellence and College with Potential for Excellence, have now been subsumed under RUSA. Further, funds are granted in the ratio of 60:40, which has caused additional financial burden on the states. Sir, in the interest of the state fiscal health, UGC should not be replaced by a Higher Education Commission of India. Secondly, sir, with regards to the levy of surcharge of 2% on the superage that has replaced the wealth tax, I would like to mention here that this decision taken by the union government has shifted the fiscal resource from the state to the center. It is a direct encroachment by the union government to reduce the fiscal capacity of the state. We have time and again asked the central government to include the surcharge on the super rich and other surcharge in the divisible pool of resources to the states. However, no decision has been made by the central government in this regard. Sir, with regards to the action of the central government, which is against the will of the people of Tamil Nadu, as well as an incorrect decision of the central government, I would like to mention here about the Steel Authority of India's decision to privatize Salem Steel Plant. The public sector undertakings are capable of performing better provided they are given the right support and direction in a dynamic economic scenario. Rather than the central government examining and studying thoroughly the reasons for the Salem Steel Plant recent losses, the central government's act of resorting to privatization is totally against the will of the government and the people of our Tamil Nadu. My second part of my speech is on the issues where the central government should have intervened in the issue of the state, but it had not done so. In this regard, I would like to mention here about the shortage in the disbursement of shares in the central tax from 1996-97 to 2014-15. In the Comptroller and Auditor General's report on complaints of fiscal responsibility and the Budget Management Act 2003, it has been indicated that during the certification of the net proceeds by the CAG, based on the recommendation of the Successive Finance Commission, it was noticed during the period 1996-97 to 2014-15, an aggregated amount of rupees 81,647.70 crores was short devolved to the states. It is estimated that Tamil Nadu is eligible to get around rupees 4,500 crores as a shortfall in the share of central taxes devolved by the Government of India during that period. Sir, a pertinent question arises here whether it is not obligatory on the part of the union government to devolve shortfalls in the share of central taxes devolved to the states. However, no action has been made in this regard by the central government. Now, on the issue of 14th Finance Commission, I would like to mention here that the 14th Finance Commission has recommended an increase of 10% in the vertical devolution from 32% to 42% to the states. However, this effect has been neutralized by reduction in the horizontal devolutionary share of central taxes to Tamil Nadu from 4.969% to 4.023%. This reduction in the interstate share to Tamil Nadu is 19.04%, which is the highest erosion among all the states. Further, year after year, the actual release of share in the central tax to Tamil Nadu fell short of the estimates in the 14th Finance Commission recommendation period. This, coupled along with the unscientific formula adopted by the Commission, had penalized the state of our Tamil Nadu for its achievement in better economic development and population control. Our Tamil Nadu government had urged the central government to provide an annual special grant of rupees 2,000 crores in each of the remaining years of the 14th Finance Commission period to Tamil Nadu, either as a grant available through Niti Aayog or as a special allocation. However, sir, no progress has been made in this regard by the union government. With regards to the 15th Finance Commission, the term of reference contains certain clauses that are likely to have an adverse impact on the fiscal transfer to the states of Tamil Nadu. There is a growing discontent among the people of Tamil Nadu on the unfair treatment meted out by Successive Finance Commission to Tamil Nadu. Concerns are now being raised by the people of all political and academic hues in the mainstream as well as in the social media that the resources from our state of Tamil Nadu are unjustly being transferred to other states through the mechanism of Finance Commission, causing a drag on the ability to grow further and impeding the efforts of the state government towards fulfilling the growing aspirations of the people. The growing disparity in the fiscal transfer does not augur well for the country and could, in fact, undermine the strength of our Indian Union. With regards to the grant and aids released to the state government by the union government, I would like to mention here that the grant and aid released to the Tamil Nadu by the union government in 2017-18 compared to 2016-17 has witnessed a 3% negative growth. On the contrary, sir, the union government has provided a substantial grant and aid to other states, that is 56% for Maharashtra, under 19% for Uttar Pradesh. We are unable to understand the disparity meted out against us, sir. Coming to the issue of GST, Tamil Nadu had concerns about the impact of GST on the fiscal autonomy of the states and the huge permanent revenue losses it is likely to cause to a manufacturing and a net exporting state like Tamil Nadu. As feared by us, there is a significant shortfall in the settlement of amount due to the Tamil Nadu in the new goods and service tax system. A large amount of IGST remains unsettled even after the second provisional settlement of rupees 50,000 crores made on 27 June 2018. I wish to state that by a rough estimate, our state will receive over rupees 5,604 crores of additional revenue if the unsettled IGST credit is apportioned to the state. It has been urged that an on-account payment may be made for the entire balance of the unsettled IGST by using a formula such as the protected revenue of each state or the GST collection. Otherwise, the amount of unsettled IGST will continue to increase and will undermine the whole structure of the GST. Sir,
Nothing took more than an hour.
Yes,
Sir, with regards to the disaster management by the central government, it has always fallen short in providing a helping hand to the state. Take for instance the severe flood in Tamil Nadu during November 2015. Special assistance of rupees 25,914 crores was sought as a disaster relief assistance from the centre. However, the fund allocated by the central government was only few hundred crores. During December of 2016, severe cyclonic storms Varda hit the northern district of Tamil Nadu, leaving unprecedented damage to infrastructure and property. And disaster assistance sought was rupees 22,573 crores. However, only few hundred crores was allocated by the central government. Severe drought situation that prevailed in Tamil Nadu during 2016, rupees 39,565 crores was sought from NDRF funds, whereas only few hundred crores was released by the central government. The 2017 severe cyclonic storm Oki, which caused extensive damage to Kanyakumari and adjoining districts, a sum of rupees 9,302 crores was sought by the state government. However, only few hundred crores was released by the centre. Sir, this clearly shows the state of the response and the helping hand provided by the central government to the state governments in times of distress. Sir, with regards to the central government affairs with the nation worldwide, I would like to mention here that our Honorable Prime Minister has travelled to several nations worldwide, establishing friendly ties with far-flung nations. Even our Honorable External Affairs Minister had quoted, and I quote, "In the last 4 years, the prestige of India in the eyes of the world has reached such heights that today, when India speaks, the world listens." Sir, but the central government has not taken cognizance of the pathetic situation right here in our Indian Ocean. It is a deep concern for our entire country about the unabated apprehension and killing of our innocent Indian fishermen from Tamil Nadu by the Sri Lankan Navy while carrying out fishing in the Park Bay area. It has been the repeated request by the government of Tamil Nadu and several members of parliament to send a firm, unequivocal, unambiguous message to the Sri Lankan government that such inhuman, hostile activities should be stopped henceforth. Has the central government taken measures to restore the Kachativu island, which was unilaterally ceded to Sri Lanka as part of the ill-advised Indo-Sri Lankan Agreement of 1974 and 1976, which lacks constitutional and legal sanctity? Has the central government taken measures to redraw the international boundary line? The answer is no. What about the Sri Lankan Tamil issue, sir? The entire world is aware that during the final stages of war, an ethnic pogrom and genocide was perpetuated on the Tamil minorities of Sri Lanka. We have repeatedly asked the central government to sponsor a resolution in the United Nations condemning the genocide of Tamils in Sri Lanka and hold all those responsible for it accountable. Further, the resolution should also demand a referendum among the Tamils in Sri Lanka for the formation of a separate Tamilelam. Sir, did the government take any steps in this regard, sir? Finally, the government of Tamil Nadu has always been the harbinger of cooperative federalism, working in tandem with the government of India towards the progress of our nation. One of the fundamental principles of this cooperative federalism is the timely fulfillment of the commitments it made, and fulfilling the commitments forms its bedrock. The central government's falter in the commitments will severely deter the socio-economic development of the state and our entire country. Sir, we in Tamil Nadu, under the leadership of Perenja Perundage Anna, Purachi Thalaivar MGR and Purachi Thalaivi Amma, have always pleaded for an increased role of the states in the development and the nation building process and for a greater fiscal autonomy of the states. It is our belief that a strong union can emerge only out of a strong state, and India's governance structure has to reflect more and more federal features. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.